Hey, what is going on, everybody? I know that some of you are lurking right now and you have not entered the chat, but we are live with another episode of 4GQ TV. It is Thursday night, 6:30 p.m., and Animated Evil has made his return with the nice trimmed up beard. You know, I think I gotta cut mine now a little bit down there. Down in here. What's going on, Animated?
Just get some elastic.
Yeah, I'm feeling very fresh. On my return, I've also had the haircut done, and I've made an effort tonight. I really have. Looking forward to it. I'm glad to be back. I unfortunately have not been on for a couple of weeks now, but yeah, glad to be back. Glad to have Graphic God and PK and yourself in, and yeah, let's go.
All right, so I have some mic pitching, so I'm going to go to my settings and try to fix this real quick while we are live. I have a feeling it's the NVIDIA broadcast thingamajiggy. Let's see.
Damn, those NVIDIA people.
All right, I took it off. Harris, let me know if it's better. I changed it back to a regular mic. So, also, we
You're not
have...
crackling anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I was crackling? I thought that was you crackling, PK.
No. I don't try to be fancy.
Okay. Wait a minute. You have a fancy logo on the screen.
That's because I'm watching you.
Uh-huh. Well, the
Quietly.
creator of that logo is sitting right here on this panel, and his name is Graphic God. And I think it's his second appearance on the podcast. What is going on, Graphic God?
I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me. I heard you're a few men short, and I can usually take the place of about 7 men, but in this case, I'm taking the place of 2. That's cool. I'm good, and I brought my beer, so maybe I'm taking the place of 3.
Okay, yeah. Just sit back and relax. And
no, this is not going to be Retro Renegades invasion, but it's going to be close enough.
PK.
Yes? What's up?
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, listen. I had a lot of things happen, ups and downs, crazy stuff going on. I've been busy, but hey, the world keeps turning and we keep getting into gaming, entertainment, etc., etc. I just feel like since I was a kid, a lot of things that I ever dreamed of is coming true now, so I'm kind of happy about that. The only mystery that I have not solved is where is my Final Fantasy VII Remake? We need to find out what's going on with that. Outside of that, I'm pretty excited. You got Halo on TV, you got Sonic in the movies. I mean, what more can you ask for, man? We got it going on right now.
Oh, there is something more we can ask for. It's called Bug Snacks on Game Pass. Yeah, baby. Game Pass hype. Everybody's excited, right? No, nobody's. You guys are not excited.
This is my excited face.
Bug
No.
Snacks.
He looks very excited, doesn't he? He really
Yeah, he does. I can't see PK's excitement behind that image, but first,
I am smiling.
Are you?
Yep. And I winked. Can you see?
Oh. Yep, I can feel the wink. Raise your hand if you can see me, PK.
Yep.
I can't.
Both of them.
I have no evidence to this. So, go ahead, Jay.
I was going to say we need to create PK a logo where he can have it in his videos where he's actually behind the P and the K, and he can pop out from behind those letters. I think that'd be awesome. He'd be in the white area, if you know what I'm saying.
And his lips move, his mouth move.
And maybe the circle in the P could be your eyeball.
I was thinking that your monkey could be tossing me something and I catch it and then I run away.
Oh, you don't want what my monkey's gonna toss you.
Yeah, I think that would be dope.
Okay. No, PK. No, PK.
Banana peels.
Let's move it.
Yeah.
You guys are what is up with you guys?
Listen.
So tight. You know?
PK. Let's talk about something that'll loosen everybody up. You ready for this? Okay, without spoilers. Okay, without spoilers, because Jay, I don't think Jay's seen it yet. I don't know if Animated's seen it, but Sonic 2, man, dang, it's awesome. Have you seen it animated?
I have not. I do want to go and see it, but
I am so tired of these people coming on not seeing the best movie in the world. Oh my gosh!
He's a busy man, PK. He's a busy man.
I'm a very busy man.
Hey,
yeah,
hey, wait a
unfortunately,
minute.
not seen it yet, dude.
Do you eat and sleep? You could be
Sometimes.
watching a movie instead.
Hey, not all the time. He
Watching
doesn't.
the movie instead. That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes I eat.
Yeah.
I eat more than I sleep. Let's put it that way.
Well, substitute your sleep time. There you go. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just joking.
No, it's all right. So I just want to say, like, for everybody out there that's going to see the movie or about to see the movie, one thing about Sonic 2 that takes home for me is Knuckles. And when you guys see that movie, leave some comments below if you watch this later, or just message me or message us, because Knuckles makes this movie amazing. You know, I always loved Knuckles in the games. I thought he was a great character. And this movie really brings out his personality. PK, you want to say anything on that?
First of all, Knuckles is an airhead, and it proves it in this movie over and over. In every iteration of Knuckles, no matter if it was the Sonic cartoon from a couple years ago or whatever, Knuckles is airhead. But it's funny, right? It's funny. He's a musclehead, just like any other, you know, what is that type of character that is, right? But it was enjoyable 100%. Idris Elba did knock it out the park. But before we get into all that, first of all, we need to check and see if people even seen the first one. I'm looking at animated right
Yes,
now.
I've seen the first one. Yes, several times. Loved the first one. I thought Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I did enjoy the first one. Seen it a couple of times. Do want to see the second one, but obviously it's having time for me and to take my youngest two children to go and see it as well when they're up for it. So that's what I want to do. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks we can all go together.
Well, I tell you what, man, I watched it twice already, and even if you go by yourself, it's worth it to go back and see it again. Um, I'm probably gonna go see it again this weekend. Never know, man.
Wow, that good.
Yeah, it's dope. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, it brought a tear to my eye when watching some of the scenes. Graphic guy, you seen the first one, right?
Oh yeah, I saw it in the theater, and then I've watched it on Amazon twice.
And just so you guys know that you subscribe to Paramount Plus, it's on Paramount Plus. There you go. If you ain't seen it, which you should have, because it was the best movie of 2020, the most successful movie of 2020. By the way, I do want to give some acolytes here because Sonic 2 broke some pretty strong records. It is now hold the best opening for any video game movie ever. Um, the best opening for Jim Carrey's movie ever, which is shocking to me, but
Wait a second.
it's true.
Best of all of Jim Carrey's movies?
All of Jim Carrey's is his best opening ever.
That's insane because that man's been
I know.
killing it for 30 years.
Killing it. And it's a shame because you would think his movies would make even more money than that. But hey, maybe he'll come back and finish the third one because we all loved him. And I'll tell you, if you loved him in the first one, he doesn't disappoint. You could tell that they give this man all creative control on ad-libbing all day, every day is this character. He is hilarious and entertaining for sure, 100%.
I've even seen some rumors going around that they may actually, if the man does not retire, which it's reported that he has said that he wants to retire, that they may try to do a Ace Ventura Part 3.
Oh yes, please.
Well, they already
yes,
did the
please.
spinoff, and that was not good. So hopefully he doesn't retire right away. Hopefully he got just a little bit more to squeeze out because we love him, right? We love
Oh yeah.
what he brings to the table. I think it's amazing, and we definitely need to congratulate him on the success, right?
Well, nice.
Um, there's another. It also uh, is the most successful video game movie franchise ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how successful it is. I am happy, definitely for Sonic, because now we're gonna get a Sonic 3 for sure. And everybody who sees Sonic 2, stay for the credits, because something after the credits you should all see.
Right.
So I gotta say that
Especially if you play Sonic Adventure.
Right.
Spoilers.
I ain't telling nobody what. I said if you play Sonic Adventure. I'm talking to Graphic Guy here.
Oh, I've played it multiple times. 1 and 2.
All right. So you don't definitely love the after credit scene. Another thing I wanted to point out. So the person who voices Tails has been voicing Tails in all the video games,
Yeah, I've heard
including
that.
the cartoon series, and she was able to voice Tails again in the movie. Isn't that amazing to be able to voice the same character all these years and get offered this big opportunity here? I think
And
that's incredible.
on every type of platform as well, whether it's
Yeah,
animated, whether it's movie, whether it's video games, on every platform that is so commendable.
yeah.
Which is testament to her talent and how we love her voice as Tails, right?
Yeah, and I mean I love what is it, Ben Schwartz, the guy who voices Sonic. He does a great
Mhm.
job, very quippy. Um, you
Did
know,
Ben Schwartz ever do it in any of the video games?
no,
He
no, it
never did.
wasn't him.
Okay.
But I can see him doing it in the future because he does such an
Hmm.
amazing job convincing us he's actually Sonic. He embodies it. So um, I see that continuing, at least from my point of view. But again, this. I said this before, and I said this again. Uh, this is why we are now maybe getting Mario at the end of the year. But the point is, they're making that movie. They're making a quality Mario movie. We're not going to talk about the one where there wasn't even a Princess Peach. It was Princess Daisy. You know, um, and
And
we're
then
not going
and
to talk
Dennis
about.
Hopper played Bowser. Is that the one?
Yeah, and we're not going to talk about all the cash grabs from the old days. We're going to say that now maybe we're in an era, not just comic book or superhero movies. Now we're in an era where video games is another form of media to tap into with quality production.
Metaverses, right? Is that what you are going towards?
I think, and I want to talk about that in a minute later on, but I strongly think that this opens the doors for a lot of things. I mean, yeah, we did get Uncharted earlier this year. We do have uh, Halo on TV. Like I said, Sonic is getting a TV series. Knuckles is getting a side series with Idris Elba voicing Knuckles.
Right.
Um, I mean, those who've seen Castlevania know that was super quality. I mean, video game adaptations, whether it's animated or movie live action, is becoming a norm now, and they are being produced with quality, which is amazing. I hope that Borderlands turns out well, right? I hope because
Ugh,
we don't want
yeah.
any more Monster Hunter movies. Okay, I don't care if he thinks his wife should be the star of every movie. No, let's stop it. Okay, let's not do that. You had all these high-profile people in this movie, not to do nothing with them. So stop it. All right. I know those people that may have enjoyed the Resident Evil movies. I did not. It didn't have anything to do with the games until the last movie, and then it was too late. Um, and the same people did Monster Hunter, and that was pretty poor. So let's not do that no more. And for those out there who has not seen, I think the Tomb Raider reboot was actually good because it was very loosely based on the games that we played. the reboots, and I think it's great. Um, at the end of the day, this is a great thing, man. Hopefully, we can get a Gears of War before I leave this planet. That would be amazing for me.
Hey, we never know. It could be in the pipeline.
Uh,
If Halo being successful, is a big sign that people want to see video games to TV, and I think Gears of War would be a fantastic one.
right, and I'm hopeful, right? I'm hopeful that we keep this train running and keep the quality up, right? I mean, look at Sonic, man. Just running away with success. People uh didn't even expect it to go this far, and it's enjoyable. You don't have to play the games to enjoy the movies. That's for sure, 100%. Like I said, I had a tear to my eye watching Sonic, and it was crazy because it just reminded me of what it's like, being in a family and being accepted no matter who and what you look like. That's dope, man. It's a dope, you know what I mean? I know Disney's sitting there like, man, I wish that was us doing this movie. You know what I mean? Um, and Sonic's all about pop culture, man. All day, every day, this dude's cracking jokes about things that's going on in the scene. Like he watches so much TV. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you jokes, but literally, if you watch the first one, they crank it up times three in the second one. So that's awesome. And like I said, I don't watch it twice. I'm ready to go see it again. I'm not joking.
Nice.
I enjoy it every time. There's something for everybody in there. That's what I like.
All right. I
I
mean,
and what a 91 on the Rotten Tomatoes. That's unheard of.
yeah, no, it did really well. It's something that we
You know,
needed to
critics
see.
don't like movies.
That's why the critics, right? That's why the
they,
critics.
they don't like movies. So how to get a 91? That's crazy. If it defied that odd, it can defy all kinds of odds, right? Just saying. Sorry. Go ahead, guys. I was just I think it's dope, man. I recommend it to anyone. Definitely, if you enjoy movies, to definitely go take a look at it.
So, I know that we all pretty much love Sonic here. We're all retro gamers and video gamers, but there's something that I think is quite interesting in the works right now. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up this topic first, and I'm curious what everybody thinks. So, apparently, the next Walking Dead is going to Facebook. Facebook is working on the next Walking Dead. It's going to be on their platform. Well,
Is it going to be VR?
It's part game, part streaming series. It's called The Last Mile. It's going to be a hybrid Walking Dead event. And even though it's a game, it's not like a traditional game, right? So it's kind of interesting, though, that they're making this exclusive with Facebook. No controller needed, console or PC, or even a copy of the game. It says that you need only understand the play on words in its title.
So what's the title? And then I'll try and comprehend. So what's the title?
Last Mile. It's an interactive live event.
I don't know what to make of that sort of statement. I really don't, because if it's not a game, not a movie, it's something in between. What is it? What is it? What they tried to do with how Remedy did with Quantum Break, where you'd play a game, you see a show, you play a game. They've tried that. It didn't work at the time. Like Jay said, is it VR? How can you play something that's not?
Yeah, it's a little too ambiguous to even know what to even think of it yet.
Yeah, honestly, this is the ambiguity they give us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you know what? There's so much scope, isn't there? Let's be fair. There's so much scope in it. I mean, how can it be an actual interactive experience if it's not. You don't need a controller, but then you would think it's a VR thing, but then no, because technically you need controllers for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. From what you've said, the statement, it doesn't compute in the back of my mind. It really doesn't. There's just nothing going.
As a traditional form of entertainment, yeah, nothing's making sense yet.
Yeah. It's
so let me guess. They instruct you to turn on the game on your iPad. You have to then sit on your iPad, and when the zombies get close, the iPad burns your butt.
No.
Is that what happens?
No.
It gets hotter.
No. First of all, thank you to the 1,230 people watching from wherever you are across the world. I don't know where you are. I know that we post on sites all across the world, so feel free to chat, even in your own native language. Like, even if you can't speak English, say something in the chat. We appreciate it. Somebody will try to translate it. We'll try to say hi, but thank you so much.
Animated Evil, a little unknown fact, Animated Evil can speak 12 languages. He'll try to interpret all of you.
Bloody right. That is, mate.
Really, I struggle with English at the best of times, let alone another 11.
It's the Queen's English, too.
It is the Queen's English. You're correct. And that's the thing. I struggle with it, and it's native to me. So to add another 11, little bit of pressure there, Jay. Little bit of pressure.
So, so this, this game is the way that they put out this press article is very ambiguous right now. It's basically all they're telling you is that you log into Facebook and it's like completing a Wordle or like watching an ant farm. What that means, I do not know. I have no clue what that means. So yeah, it's just that they're getting the exclusive on this. I don't know why Facebook would pay for this exclusive unless it's going to keep traffic driving to the website. Maybe they think it's going to pick up and be like a little addictive experience and drive traffic to the website. I mean, that's a possibility,
Like Facebook's not addictive enough?
Well, I think people are losing interest over time in it slowly. It's an old archaic system. Not saying that it's terrible in its nature the way it's built, but it's archaic and people are moving on to different social platforms,
That's not true. That's not true. My mom's on it every day. And she's 80.
Yeah, and she also remembers dial-up and AOL, right?
Although
he says his mom is on there, he's on there. That's what it is. He's trying to put it on. Don't throw your mom under the bus. You love that Facebook.
I don't even know my Facebook password. Swear to God.
Although Facebook is a massive platform, do you not think at point right now even the IP of The Walking Dead has kind of run its course? It's no longer the most popular kind of thing going on, and
although
it's been going on
that,
for so long. I do say that.
But there's still 3 series on television you can watch right now, and I think there's a 4th.
Well, it's about to end.
Really? But the thing is,
the original's about to end, and the thing is,
Sony's final run.
I think as a sort of an IP, a cash grab, let's buy this massive IP right now. I think, in my personal opinion, and it means nothing, of course, that The Walking Dead is no longer walking, probably just dead at this point.
Maybe that's why it's called The Last Mile.
It has been going on for so long, The Walking Dead. I mean, I was bored after something like, I don't know, 7 seasons. And it could be into season 354 right now, and I just don't care. It's years old.
I get what you're saying, but there's something that a lot of people who haven't gotten into the show, and I think PK, you and I, we all had a conversation about this the other day. The Walking Dead is not about zombies. A lot of people think the show is about zombies. Zombies is just the reason why the people are in the situation that they're in, but it's about people interacting with people and the shit that goes on in that world. Zombies are just there.
Yeah.
They're just trying to survive, and then it's all these complex issues. But it's really the same issues we're dealing with, but it's focused because now you got so many people to deal with.
Right.
Yeah, it's I The Last Mile, I wish they told us more. PK, any thoughts on this? Are you gonna hop on Facebook every day to play this game? Is this something up your alley?
Absolutely not.
No.
Even though I like Walking Dead, let's be real, that's not enough to convey me to even reactivate my Facebook account at all. I got many ways to enjoy my time, and Facebook's not one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to bash your favorite social media platform, but I don't like giving them any of my data. Sorry, I don't, and not for any game. It's not good enough for me. Um, Everything they do comes with some sort of catch that I don't like, and it is what it is. Um, and I'm not taking away from anyone else that wants to enjoy it. That's just me. Um, the you know this whole thing started with the Walking Dead comic, right? That's what it's
Yeah.
based off of. Um,
Image.
the whole idea is it's a good franchise, but a lot of the original showrunners who started the series are gone, so the writing is it's much different than it used to be. So that's kind of why I think animated feels the way he does.
And when are they gonna bring back Rick Grimes? If they don't bring him back, I'm gonna get my pitchfork and I'm gonna riot.
Okay, you should start at the headquarters. That'd be a good idea. Um, but no, I like the franchise. I really do. Just don't. I don't see. I don't see that drawing too many people, right? I know what they're doing, right? They need to build their brand and put some content there to attract some people, and they gotta have recognizable names. I mean, let's be real. They can't just not do that. So, um, but they're trying to reinvent themselves. This is why they're trying to be. That's why they renamed their parent company, et cetera, et cetera. But they got to do more than that, and it's unfortunate because, uh, in my opinion, Fortnite's going to be the first metaverse, the real metaverse, because it has all kinds of recognizable IPs. It has all that stuff that attracts people, no matter what platform you're on, right?
Thank you
And
so much, Paris. Real quick, I gotta shout this out. He says 4GQ TV Super Chat Train. Facebook Horizon Worlds will be huge. People will be able to make money creating things. Also, The Walking Dead has great ratings. The main seasons and in the spinoffs are doing good. That's 100% correct.
that is, but he didn't mention they take 48% of anything you create, which is a bigger tax than any other uh, processor. Typically credit cards are like what 3% at the minimum, and on the platforms, with Apple, and it's funny that they criticize Apple for 30%. Google also does 30%, but they're charging 48. I think that is a bit hypocritical. Um, so though he's correct, but at the end of the day, is it worth it if you're breaking even, putting in time and money, you're not, and they're taking half of whatever you should make.
Yeah, that's just. I'm looking at that. Routers. I say names wrong all the time, but they talked about this in an article on April 13th, actually. So you are correct. They are going to be taking 47.5% on sales. Um, but things can change.
I
Let's hope for
Well,
the best on
that's why
that.
I'm saying that unfortunately Fortnite is going to be the competition that they didn't expect, and it's going to be an interruption, right? A disruption is what they call it. Because they think they're the sole proprietary owners of whatever is going on, when there's plenty of people that could do the same thing. But the difference is the people who are passionate that make mods off of stuff, such as how Fortnite does Battle Royale, such as PUBG being PUBG, such as uh, League of Legends being a mod as well. They found a way to attract the gamer because they are
Okay.
gamers.
I mean, you got a point there. But one thing I will say real quick on this, and I'll ask, Jay and Animated Evil, is that so when it comes to Horizon, Facebook Horizon Worlds, the one cool thing is that regardless of how the money works on this, right? I think it's really cool that um, anybody can go in and create something. Like Jay could go in and create something tomorrow. Animated Evil can go and create something like his wildest imagination. And that's something that I think that is very valuable in the service in general. It's going to lure creators in. It's going to bring people in. And I think there's a lot of creators that do stuff for free right now. They do mods for free on different things. And that's great. Don't get me wrong. Like doing free stuff is awesome. If that's what you love to do and that's how you develop your stuff and that's how you hone your skills, and do it. By all means, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But when it comes to the fact that a platform as large as Facebook, I mean, Facebook Horizon Worlds is going to be huge. It's going to be big. Okay.
It's a platform of billions, isn't it? Billions.
Yes, because Facebook has billions. Yep. So you, me, Jay, PK, we can all create something in there. And we spend our time creating it for free, right? But the payoff is the fact that possibly a billion people could see this at one point in time. So if you, even if you did a million in sales or something and you end up with like 600,000, I mean, if you're a great creator and that happens for you, awesome. Would you be upset about Facebook taking half?
Of course. You'd be upset with anybody taking half of anything you worked hard for. Period.
See, I think,
Well,
that.
The
If,
thing
Go ahead,
is,
Anime.
time and
just
energy and money is something, and you can't
th-
get time back. And if you invest and and everyone else is like, it's already bad enough 30% is a bite, but everybody's cool. At least they
yeah.
accept that, 1/3 is going away. But now you're saying 50%, and where does the goalpost end? Where does it end? They're
However,
just gonna
however,
keep
however,
pushing.
however, let me add this. Right, if you can create something real quick and you go, do you know what? If their platform is easy to create on and you can create, keep going and going and going. If it's easy, yeah. If it's so simple to create on, there you go. I've submitted it, job done. I've done it in say 2 days. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's if you're going into it knowing that half of what you sell is not yours.
Let me
If
let
you
me
go
ask
into
you a
that knowing
question.
that fact, yeah, go. If
Let me
you're
ask you a
used to
question.
earning 45%, 50%, yeah, go on, go for it.
Have you played the have you played any of the online already metaverse games before
I haven't, no.
before Facebook try to give it a buzzword? They exist already, and the amount of time and energy they go in to create that stuff is hours. It's almost like another job. And
Of
and
course it is.
what I'm getting at is the payoff may not be worth it. And there's millions of people that see that stuff all the time. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying they're not the first to do it. They're just the most popular. And all I'm saying is half of your time and energy may not be worth it. It might be worth it, but it may not be worth it. But I don't think it's
But
worth it.
it depends on depends on the platform, doesn't it? Because I think where they're coming from, I think what Clowns was trying to say is the fact that you make something, right? It billions of people have got access to this thing straight off the bat. It's all about the platform. If you make something that only 3,000 people are going to see, of course you want a bigger percentage of sales. However, if you're creating something on a platform that has billions of users on a daily basis, yeah, the potential of selling billions of things for what you sell your costume you've made for $1, okay? Yeah, there's you sell it all for $1. If a billion people see that, there's a potential of $1 billion.
A billion people can also
right?
try to return it as
Which
well
is
or ask for
half
their
of
money
that,
back. So
which is okay. But then they've got to take that within a business perspective. You've got to be 50% of returns as well go to them or whatever. And I'm sure there's caveats within the creator's license, whatever they're going to, sell and stuff like that. But I think that's the
okay,
size of the platform.
I hear
It's going
you,
to be
and you know
seen by
what? I
billions.
can agree with your point of view. All
Yeah,
right, I think you're right
absolutely.
on your point of view. However, there is nothing that Facebook has done that has not had any kind of scrutiny or uh,
Well,
situations attached to it.
hold on, PK. I know that you don't like Facebook in general, but I know that you're trying to bring up a point on behalf of people that mod stuff and people that make stuff, and I get that. But I gotta ask Jay this because he's a creator, right? And first off, let me make an example. So the record industry takes more than 40% of an artist's revenue. They take something like 70%. So if you're out there singing and you're starting out and you're Foo Fighters, the first couple of years they almost went bankrupt because the record label took everything from them and the Google Dolls. Same thing
That
with them.
depends on the contract, and it depends on if you're signed onto your own stuff. Everyone's independent now. That makes their own money.
That's
It
not.
takes you a long time to become independent.
Yeah, you have to become a hitter and you have to make a lot of record sales for them to say on the next contract, okay, you're good enough. Now you can start earning your own money. But a lot of artists are in debt to record labels, even rappers. Tons of rappers owe record labels. So and they spend more time making their craft than somebody that mods stuff.
Not
Um,
today.
I'm pretty sure it took Motley Crue over 10 years to open up their own record label, to have enough um, assets in order to do that themselves and basically buy back all of their catalog. And
mhm.
Metallica did it as well. So there are
Yeah,
bands that do it, but
those
it
are
takes a
from the
very
old
long
times.
time and a lot of money.
Business is definitely different now. Even in the comic book industry, things are different now. It's easier to be independent than it was for those who got into it early in those days. It's
Be-
easier, and I got plenty
because
of
of
friends who can come on and tell you they're very
because of
successful.
the size of the platforms that are available, which
Well,
And
goes back to
they
my
Kickstarter.
point.
they
Yeah,
they do use Kickstarter, which is
yeah.
very
Yeah.
helpful. But the point is, they stand on their own and they don't look back. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm getting at.
Well, I will say this. I know, for example, when it comes to comics, from the people I've spoken to, when they work for a major publisher, right, it's a lot harder for them because they're not necessarily paid, per value. They're paid as an overall quantity a lot of times, right? And that's something that artists are fighting in the industry to change. Now, when you go independent and you go on Kickstarter, you might make 40, 50, 60,000 up front, right? And you might take that home, but then you're going to spend 30,000, 40,000 in publication on that. You got to go overseas, you got to find a printer, you got to make sure the paper quality is good, you have to order samples, you have to pay for marketing after
Everyone's
that.
doing digital now, bro. Let me tell you,
Well,
I'm not trying to get into that, but I know what the point you're trying to make, and I just wanted to say I get what you're saying, and all I'm saying is that um, it's a good thing, an opportunity, as long as it is exactly on the surface what it is. But my point is, it's never that. It's never
okay.
that.
I mean, Facebook is providing the platform.
Um, there's lots of platforms that could provide the same opportunities.
But that's the
How,
thing. Can they provide the exact same? Because we don't even know what this is yet.
the that's what I'm saying is that all I'm saying is I agree with your like animators point. There's opportunity here. It could be great. It could be. I'm just siding with caution because I have not seen anything that doesn't have huge strings attached.
Well, I gotta
And
ask Jay this.
48% is huge. Yeah, go ahead.
Jay is a creator himself. Now, Jay, if let's just say the situation was reversed, Facebook came to you and they said, "Hey, Jay, your work's amazing. We love your work. We want you to try to create a digital world for us in Horizon Worlds, maybe a house for yourself and invite your friends over, something. And when people come over, they pay you a tip or whatever for your work." Now, Jay, we do take 48% or 47.5%, but we're offering this to billions of people. Would you make that deal? Do you think that you can create an environment in a time worthy process where you can make back your time on that?
I mean, it's a very intriguing offer because of the fan base and the user base that they already have established.
There it is. Second Life is the name. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it'd be hard to pass up. It would also come down to how much time and resources is it going to take me, and how fast am I going to recoup that cost, and is there any guarantee? There's a lot of factors you have to take into consideration, but to be honest with you, if there was an opportunity and I knew that I had the ability and the skills to create something that could potentially have a billion audience, I would probably jump on that. I mean, I do things now for free for people, and it's more about, I enjoy what I do, and I like the fact that people like to use my material and they appreciate what they get. And if Facebook was to come to me and ask me to do something, I'd probably jump on it for the fact that I just want people to see my stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
Just the FYI, we are on a platform that has access to billions of people, and we're creating stuff.
You're right. Yeah. I get what you're saying there about it, but it does seem like the algorithms are against smaller creators.
And
whereas,
you don't think there's no
well, I mean,
plan
you may be right. Maybe Facebook might go down that same path, but until I know.
Starting out, though, I think that the creators that jump on board right now, as long as their stuff is quality and good, I think Facebook is going to push it, because they could be any mom, pop, and graphic artist or environmental artist or 3D artist, and they can get on board right now as we speak, and they'd be one of the first creators on the platform, which I think gives them a natural boost. Like if you were one of the first YouTubers on YouTube, right, and you've grown your channel over time organically, you do really well today. As long as you kept up with your content and you kept up with the SEO and the algorithm, you have that whole past that you built up where people would never have forgotten you. You know what I mean? Right. So I think, in a sense, if you jump on now with Facebook Horizons, you're going to do well. Whereas if you waited 2, 3, 4 years, it could be saturated. And then at that time, you might be put down.
Much like what happened to a lot of us here on YouTube.
Yeah, no, 100%, exactly.
If we knew what we know now about YouTube, don't you think a lot more people would have at least gone through the efforts to try to put something up back when it all started?
Yep.
I think they would.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next topic here. And I think this is really interesting, right? Jay, I know that I don't know if you had a chance to read the topics or not, or animated.
You told me there'd be no topics. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, but we can go off topic, of course. We can go off topic.
It's not Tuesday, God. It's not Tuesday.
You've misled me.
Yes. So I'm going to mislead you into this great conversation. Okay, this is a better way to put it. Conversation. Okay. So Hasbro, for $146 million, is buying D&D Beyond. They're buying Dungeons and Dragons. They're buying the digital and the format of the I guess the books, the Dungeon Master stuff, and all that. Now,
doesn't Wizards of the Coast own it?
No,
they don't. thought they did. I thought Wizards of the Coast bought it from TSR back in the day.
They own Magic the Gathering.
Okay, but I thought Wizards of the Coast had something to do with D&D as well.
Well, they all board games, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what they have in common.
I have to look this up now.
Okay, so Hasbro has bought D&D, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All of D&D, or?
It says D&D Beyond, and I'm not sure if that's a term, because they don't really. I'm not a D&D player, so I don't know what the difference would be between D&D and D&D Beyond. I don't know if there's a difference or not, or if it's the same thing. It says since launch in 2017 as an officially licensed online compendium for both the free version of the D&D rule set with digital editions of published source books available for purchase, D&D Beyond quickly gained popularity with additional tools for both dungeon masters and players. Digital character sheets pulled from official content and playtest material.
They're trying to make it games as a service.
I mean, that's not a bad idea for D&D. That would do really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking at their website. Wizards of the Coast does own the D&D license. They
get the license. Okay.
Yeah, they own D&D, Magic, Spellslingers, Magic Gather Arena, and Dark. The Dark Alliance stuff. They own that too. That's all D&D. But I guess I just don't understand what this. What did you call it? D&D what?
D&D Beyond, Dungeons and Dragons Beyond.
I don't think I've heard of that before, and maybe it's a separate entity. I don't know.
It seems like, according to IGN, that D&D Beyond is a sub-licensed entity. Okay. I guess that maybe did well and was gaining a lot of revenue. So maybe that's why Hasbro said, you know what, let's purchase them now before they get any bigger.
Right.
Because, with Hasbro behind them, maybe they can push it even further than it is now.
So I've just got a little sort of excerpt up as I've Googled it. It says Hasbro will purchase D&D Beyond for 146.3 million in cash. Okay. And it will further we'll do the inverted commas. It will further strengthen Hasbro's capabilities in the fast-growing digital tabletop category. Yep, so digital tabletop, which to me says D&D's always been physical tabletop, hasn't it? A few friends around the table and stuff. Yeah. And pen and paper and the multi-sided dice, I can't remember what they're called. A few of my friends will be shouting at me right now saying, it's called this kind of dice, because a lot of my friends
we just call the 20s, 5s, 20s, 6s, 10s.
Yeah, so
4s.
The thing is, I mean, if Hasbro are going to bring D&D into a digital format like they have with, I'm going to simplify it with, Monopoly, Risk. They've done it with Boggle. Do you know what? It could work. It could really, really work. If they've bought this just to make it digital, and D&D is going to exist as it were, and we're going to get some sort of digital influx of Dungeons and Dragons, I'm all for it.
I'm definitely going to try it, because a lot of people probably know that Clowns and I, PK, I can't remember if you've played it or not, but Demio, which is basically a D&D type clone in VR, which they've just recently moved to Steam, where you can just play it, just on your screen. It's based on D&D. It plays a little different, but it's still got the D&D vibe to it all. So I'm curious to know if, because of the success of Demio and the knowledge that kind of game can be transferred to this platform properly, then I wonder if that's the reason why they're going in that direction.
The thing is as well, though, if you're saying that Demio is a D&D like sort of game, imagine how you would feel playing an actual D&D game, yeah, that's actually a D&D licensed. It's all there.
They're using all the
D&D
same rules. They're using the
it
same
is
characters,
D&D.
the same classes. Yeah, it'd be amazing.
Because a lot
Like-
of my friends, that they're PC gamers, they are console gamers, but they do gather around and play around a board. Do you know what I mean? If they can have a licensed D&D by Hasbro, let's go. Let's bring it in. I'd join them. Absolutely,
too.
I'd join them.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I think this would be fun. I think, you know what? Once we figure out how to do this, we should all have a Dungeons and Dragons game online and figure out how to play it and all learn together. Jay, you could be the dungeon master because you have
Oh,
experience. You are
I
the
do.
master.
I've been
Master Jay.
I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons since 1987. So
Wow.
that long.
Wow. Yeah, that is.
But
amazing.
I started with second edition and played a little bit of third edition, but I haven't really kept up. So there are probably a lot of rules and changes that I'd have to, familiarize myself with.
Nice. Yeah. It's something I would like to do. I really would like to do it. I know that a few people in the industry that we've talked to in the past, Dreadpool can say her name. Lucy, her last name is definitely Greek. He could say her name. So that would be kind of cool. And to all the people, I mean, there's a lot of people watching. Hit that like. Feel free to subscribe. Talk in the chat, man.
Absolutely.
Like,
shout out to the people watching now. That's an amazing number right there, isn't it?
yeah,
To be fair.
I don't know if it's the Dungeons. I didn't even put Dungeons and Dragons title. I put Facebook exclusive. Maybe that's where everybody's coming from. I don't know, but we hit something on the algorithm. So you're watching, man. Just feel free to talk in the chat. Even if you don't speak English, whatever language is your primary, say hi. We appreciate it, man. Yeah, Paris is chatting with himself, people. Sit there and chat with Paris too. He knows about games. He knows about video games. So here's something that I think is huge, right? Cloud gaming accounts for almost 1.5 billion in revenue. 1.5 billion in revenue last year. Okay. All the people that were saying, oh, nobody's going digital, nobody's going to play cloud games, it's over with, it's never going to take off. 1.5 billion of revenue for gaming companies overall. Okay.
So that's every platform, correct?
Correct. It's all of them tied together. It was the new report shared that the number was generated by 21.7 million players across cloud gaming service throughout 2021. It also predicts that by 2024, it's going to grow to 6.3 billion. This is pretty big. This is huge. This is very big.
And yet, they still can't get it right in my part of the country. I still cannot play my Xbox cloud gaming on any of my consoles or my PC wired to the internet with a 1.5 gigabit download. I cannot play any cloud gaming without it looking like a slideshow.
Sounds like your wires ain't long enough. You gotta come over to the US and plug it in.
Fix your shit.
That's what it sounds like. Sound like you need to drag your wire all the way over here to the US and plug into the data center.
You know what? Is there something we could try? Because I wonder if it has to do with your ISP. Like, I wonder if maybe it's being throttled on that end. Right. The one way to test that would be to VPN it.
Right.
Have you tried it through a VPN to see if it's made a difference?
I've not tried it, but I will. I'll definitely try that soon.
I'm curious if that makes a difference. Then it has something to do with your ISP. If it doesn't make a difference, then I don't know what to say. I'm all out of thought at this point because we've
honestly,
I
want to be one of these people that can just basically load up Game Pass and look at a game that has the cloud icon and just try it out without installing.
But I mean, have you had any trouble with any other cloud services?
I've never tried any other cloud services.
Sounds like a good time to give it a shot. My thought is, it's new. It would expand over time.
Paris has a message for you in the chat. He says, report it for him.
Okay.
Dreadpool is blaming the Canadian border.
Yeah, too much frisking going on.
Yeah.
The thing is with that, I've got to ask. Okay, is obviously it's over all platforms and everything, and that's cloud services. Do you play much on cloud? Obviously Jay can't. Graphic God struggles with most cloud stuff. Do you play anything on over the cloud?
I do,
Carlo?
absolutely.
PK does.
All the time. I bring my controller, pop open in my crappy phone, and I do game. People thinking I be at home, and I don't be. I ain't got no
See,
headset.
the strange thing is as well. I've got the connectivity at work. I did try it when it first come out, and it was brilliant. And I took my controller to work and stuff. But now it's a case of I don't bother. So where is all this? Who is cloud gaming? Who are all these people that are cloud gaming? It's not people like myself.
Well,
and obviously Graphic God can't. And
I'll put it this way: like, first of all, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. All right, so a lot of people are not traveling and doing a lot of activities that they probably used to. But for like, if I was like my last role where I travel all the time, it'd be perfect because I was always on the move, and bringing my Switch was kind of cumbersome sometimes. So I think being able to just pop up a tablet or phone or something, and I'm not just speaking of Game Pass, it'd be any cloud sub that you might be into. I think that is convenient, especially for me because I like logging into my Xbox at home and playing everything I got installed. So for me that's amazing. Um, but I think, like I said, it's going to grow. It's going to continue. It's going to be in TV soon. So the convenience factor is just going to. It's kind of like how people are not going to buy digital games. I would rather buy this physical one because I can always trade it in. But here we are in this situation where most people are not doing that, right? Majority of games are being bought and digital. Now you can trade and stuff on Steam, but I'm sure that will come be a thing at some point. But it's all the technology is moving in a direction on uh, where we're going and not necessarily where we're at. And it may not be for you particularly, but the next generation might take more advantage of it than you. You get what I'm saying? But that is the direction we're going. Kind of like electric cars. I mean, that wasn't a thing either, right? I mean, yeah, Back to the Future, but let's be real, it wasn't really a reality. Um, so it's more like this is something that is new and was rejected 10 years ago, but here we are, and it's getting better, and that's the point. Um, and it might not be for you, might not be for your use case in particular, but best believe the next man who is traveling all over the place, who just don't want to hook up anything and just, you know, want to let loose and play some games. I was speaking to one of my DBAs and she plays an online game she's addicted to. Been playing it for 6 years, right? Um, and all she does is open her browser.
Not GTA,
And,
is it?
um, I don't want to say because I don't want to put her out there, right? But for sure, it's a thing. So uh, people gonna find there's gonna be a use case for somebody, and it's gonna grow and increase the more people see a use case for them. I would say. But that's that. I mean, and like I said, I'm not. I get your point. I'm just kind of sharing the other side of it, right? It might not be for you, but it might be for your boys.
Well,
That might.
it's not so much that it's not for me. You know what? I've tried it. I've done it. I'm just wondering where these figures are coming from. Who's actually what demographic is actually loading up all those billions of that's earning those billions, really. That's saying, do you know what, I'm gonna sit and play on cloud. Personally, I've tried it. I like it. It's good, and there's going to be more and more people coming into it. But I'm just inquisitive of where those figures are coming from right now, and basically, what is the demographic that are just playing predominantly cloud based? Because the figures that are quoted are huge, right?
I mean, like, okay, let me just put it this way. What video game came out and was sold publicly that was worth more than publishers? You,
We was
you,
just on
you
Jeopardy yesterday. I'm not.
Roblox, right?
Yeah,
Roblox
absolutely.
came
Yeah, okay,
out was
okay,
worth
okay. Yep,
50 billion, and that is
yep.
played on the cloud every day. My daughter is on her
Really.
tablet, phone, etc.
Yeah, I
all the
suppose you're right.
time
Yeah.
playing that game. And by the way, they're going to have a Sonic collaboration on the 27th, 28th. But I'm just saying, like, that in general is showing you there is interest to having convenience.
Yeah.
Um, and that is part of the user base, right?
That's a good point I didn't consider. Yep. Absolutely.
Like, it might not be you per se, right? It might not be
Hmm.
your everyday gaming habits, but there's definitely a demographic out there that, I mean, there's got to be some explanation why Roblox is worth more than a lot of publishers, right? Who would thought Roblox worth more than Konami and Square and and all these different, like, what? That's insane. It's one game. And it's not even the best game, but it's got a lot of users and they play the crap out of it, right? Um, so, anyways, I'm just trying to give a like a eye, like a view on well, your question there, and I think more or less it's just going to increase because the convenience factor is the selling point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it makes sense when you say it like that. It really makes sense. I was just
Yeah,
inquisitive
yeah,
inquisitive on the demographic.
and for a lot of people, it might not be for them. I don't
Hmm.
play Roblox. I don't play Fortnite, but that's
No.
definitely not bound to any console, right? You can play that on anything. Well,
Yep.
somewhat on Apple, right? But in the browser, kind of. Um, but it definitely is not platform bound, is what I'm getting at, and I think that's part of the key is if they can reach their customers anywhere, it doesn't matter. That it's no longer I'm trying to sell this iPhone or Android or PlayStation or Xbox. None of that. It's all about can my customers get to my content, right?
Yep.
It's just like cloud streaming movies, right? Who would have thought that buying movies, physical copies, or even music at that point would just be a thing of a past. And now everyone just streams, no matter what device you're on, right? Most devices come preloaded with that bloatware. I don't care if it's Spotify or whatever, but it comes preloaded because this is how they consume their media now. Not saying
Yeah. That,
you per
that,
se.
that, let's take Netflix, right? Let's take Netflix. It used to be called Love Film in the UK. I don't know if it was the same thing in the US to get the DVDs dropped off through the post, and then we'd watch it, and then we'd send it back, and then it came digital because of Microsoft and the Xbox 360. But there you go. That's if you didn't know, they were responsible for that thing. Watch the thing on YouTube. But yeah, that's the thing. We used to have it posted, and now it's a case of straight to your living room, downloaded instantly, didn't it?
Right.
Used to
And
used to the
you
same.
don't
I
even
used to I
download
used to
it
rent.
now.
I used
You
to
don't
rent
even
games
download
off.
it now.
I used to be able to get games off Love Film as well. So I would. Do you know what? I want this new game. I will rent it. Send me it. There's my £6, $6, whatever you want to call it. Send me that game. I'll play it and I'll send it back in 3 days. Now it's a case of download it in 60 seconds. Let's go for it. And the dynamic has definitely changed. Agreed. But
Yeah, and like I said, it's just new. And that's and I wouldn't be surprised if that projection is off, and it actually goes higher than that.
Guys, there's something I want to talk about. I think is pretty big. Pretty big. I think this is pretty big. I'm going to go to Jay first. And you know what, Jay? Don't think of this as a topic. Think of this as a conversation between two gamer friends. He's covering his eyes for the time. Okay. So, Sony invested $1 billion into Epic to help bring the physical and digital worlds together
Lego.
for people. I was going to get to that part. Yeah. Lego also invested, the Kirkby family, a wholly owned subsidiary or something of Lego. They own Lego basically. Another $1 billion. So they have $2 billion got invested to Epic. Jay, is this epic?
Yeah, but I need more details. What are they investing in?
They're trying to do their own metaverse, trying to bring Legos to the metaverse.
But but everyone tells me the metaverse is not going to happen because it's a bad thing.
Oh, it's gonna
Am,
happen.
am I supposed to listen to the people?
It
Or am
it
I supposed
already
to,
is
or am I
happening.
supposed to believe in the future? Tell me the truth.
I just think people don't even see that it's already been happening. It's just not popular, but it's happening. It's already been happening.
So what you're trying to say is people are afraid of what they don't understand.
Yeah, because it's not popular.
Yeah. The world doesn't revolve around popularity, people. It does not.
Trust me, I've been there, done that. It is a thing, and it's going to be a bigger thing once all these
I'm
companies.
all for it. Believe me, I'm all for the metaverse. I'm all for what the potential of entertainment and entertainment, education, technology, all that combined in one. Sign me up now.
I kind of side on. I'm not sure if this is a good thing because we're already in a environment where this generation does not have people skills. They don't know how to talk to anyone, and they're awkward around other people because everything's online. It's weird being around people. What? How far is it going to go when they no longer have to be around people at all? Are we going to
Or
be
think
like those movies like Gamer, where or even what was that movie Spielberg did? The other, what was it? Uh, I like the movie, by the way, but the kid from Columbus, Ohio, and he's playing a game and had all those video game characters in there. You know what I'm talking about? What was it called?
War
Somebody help me,
games?
huh? What was it called?
War games? No, it wasn't War games. Was it? No. No.
No, come on.
Spielberg?
Was it the Whiz Kid or the Wizard or something like that?
No, it just came out a couple. Come on, you guys know what it is.
Ready
Came out
Player One?
Not Ready
Ready
Player
Player One.
One.
There you go. It,
Okay.
it, okay, so you see how a lot
I
of
went back to 1987 there for a second. I do apologize.
Yeah, me too. I was like, what?
Well,
but you get what I'm saying. It's kind of like once it becomes that and worse, we're gonna have less interaction with people. Everyone's gonna be online.
Well, I go ahead, Jay.
I know I see two sides of this. Maybe okay, so what you're saying is that society, kids today, okay, let's use the quote, kids today don't have social skills. They don't have the things that you needed 20, 30 years ago in order to make it in society. Who's to say that society will not adapt to those kids today?
But that's kind of what I'm saying is it it's right now, and I'm not trying to get too far into it, but a lot of them not even going to work because they don't like the company or they don't, have the emotional uh, disconnect, and work is not necessarily an emotional thing. It's about uh, career paths, but
Right.
at the end of the day, they are taking a different route, and it's not beneficial to them. It's kind of
Well,
holding things back. But I, all I'm saying is, I'm not saying it will be bad, right? I'm just afraid that it can get that way, to the point where it be like in the movies, where everything's digital and no one has real interactions anymore, or it's like the Matrix. You don't know what's real.
I
You
mean,
know,
a dystopian future like the Matrix is a very far out possibility. But when it comes to the metaverses coming together with the physical world and things like that, I would say that all that digital age stuff started back in the days of AOL. Whether anybody realizes it or not, right? AOL, IRC. A lot of people back then were choosing a digital life over the physical world anyway. They would hang out on AOL or instant message for hours at ends and talk to people. Sure,
I remember spending
yeah,
hours on IRC,
and
hours and hours, days.
the generation had to grow up and get a job eventually, right? Now, the difference with today's world is that our technology is fast enough that people can work remotely from home, and that might take away some of the social interaction as well. I think it's a combination of factors, right? I don't think necessarily this is going to lead to the demise of children, but I do think that overall, the way that everything's adding up, technologically speaking, is that we could end up in a world like that. But I would still think that it also helps people that have social issues, like they have a hard time communication in person. So online would be easy for them. So I mean, there's still ways to communicate and meet people. Yeah, so I just think there's benefits and there's negatives to everything, and people just adjust. You know, Bubba Fett says just like Demolition Man. You can get with a digital Sandra Bullock. Wow, that's
I'm all
uh,
for the 3 seashells. Bring those
oh
on.
man.
as long as you know how to use them. As long as you know how to use them.
Anime, what's your take on this?
See, now the thing is, I think a lot of these big business guys don't understand what the metaverse is supposed to be. So the best way to describe the metaverse, do you know what? Put into Google, put into Bing, and just type metaverse. What is? And it gives you the best answer. Okay, it's the metaverse is a virtual reality space in which users can interact with computer generated environment and other users. Okay, so with that said, Epic have the Unreal Engine 5 and they've done various demos recently along with Xbox and Coalition. They've done what was the Matrix thing? Did the Matrix thing like that? If they've said to these big companies and said, do you know what? You don't understand what the metaverse is going to be. However, we're the guys who are going to run it with Unreal Engine 5. Look at us. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Because all you see right now with sort of the future of the metaverse and these digital sort of formats and stuff has been coming from Unreal and Epic, right? So these companies are thinking, well, we don't know what the bloody hell to do. What? Tell you what, here's some money. Take some money and you tell us how we can get into the metaverse. And Epic, but like, yeah, come on, we can do it. And I think that's where it's came. This is where it's come from. And
just put that pile over in the corner with the other pile.
do you know what I mean? The amount of money has been because you're the first ones who do you know what? You're the first ones to invest, so we can really concentrate on your systems. Both of you. $1 billion for you, $1 billion for you. Come on, Let's go. And it's business at the end of the day, isn't it? Because when you think of the metaverse right now, as you understand it, or as we understand it, the virtual world that we can all, it's all about Unreal Engine 5 and what that can bring to the gaming community and what it can do. So these people are saying, yep, take my money. Here you go, Epic. Take it. And of course, they're going to take the money, aren't they? I may be being a little bit cynical right now, but
no,
that's how business works.
It makes sense. What you're basically saying is that, they see where money's being made.
Yep.
I.e., gaming.
Yep.
And they just want to future-proof themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they want to do.
So
I think it's a smart.
I can see idea. Legos having an open world situation. Like Legos would be cool.
Yeah,
absolutely. And the reason I think the reason Sony's jumping on board with this is because the metaverse means interactive, right? And they're developing their new version of the VR. They can see how much money the Oculus is making in VR, and they want to be competing in that sort of area. So they need that whole. Please help us, Epic. Help us make VR better. Do you know? It's definitely a valid.
Right.
It's definitely a what's the word I'm looking for? It's definitely a valid investment for Sony, just because if they can get into, if their VR 2 runs through Unreal 5 and Epic and stuff, then my God, that's going to look absolutely amazing, isn't it?
But wasn't there some news recently regarding Sony and Unreal 5, how the majority of their studios aren't even using Unreal 5? And if that is the case, why do they feel they need it?
It's more than that when it comes to Epic, when it's Sony, but more or less, yes, they want to invest into their. It's more like a partnership with them at Epic. I mean, that's why there's exclusivity deals, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, but as far as I think Animated had a good point. They're trying to look out for their digital future and how they're going to expand their media, which is important, and hopefully they do get it off the ground because they need to compete. They also.
I can see most companies like Xbox and other gaming divisions and gaming companies using the metaverse to push gaming, but I almost see the opposite with Sony. Even though Sony has a gaming company, I almost see them as a way to push a more interactive storytelling, because that's been the ongoing joke that most Sony games are more like movies. So I think they'll take advantage of that and use the metaverse as more of a storytelling platform more than a gaming. I mean, they'll be gaming as well, but I think they're really going to push it in that direction.
And yep, I think you might be correct on that. I mean, they are a media company.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do well. So that's definitely a possibility.
Before we get out of here, one last on topic.
Wait a second, did you fool me with topics and I didn't even realize it?
This is an on topic, Jay. It's on topic.
Okay. I'm ready.
So, SOC Investment Group is one of the shareholders of Activision Blizzard, and they are trying to tell people to vote no on the buyout or merger for Activision Blizzard. Now, their reasons is that they allegedly want people held accountable or something or another. However, the best thing, and this is my opinion, right, guys, on the panel, this is my opinion. I think the best thing for Activision Blizzard is for the buyout to go through, because I think that with Satya Nadella and Phil at the head, I think that, it would be a fresh start for Activision Blizzard. Employees would be respected. Employees would be valued. They would be listened to. As we see that with a lot of Xbox game studios today, is that they're flourishing. They're having success, and they're doing great, right? Under Xbox game studios. But SOC wants to stop this. And I have no idea what the real motive is, but I think there might be an ulterior motive. I can't speculate on what it is because I don't know. I have no clue when it comes to investing. But, Adam, I'm going to go to you first on this. What do you
First,
think
right,
about this?
explain what SOC is for clowns you using acronyms.
It's an investment group.
Yes, please.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
do
name.
you know what?
What's the name?
Let me look that up for you, PK.
Yeah,
Not
just
for me, but for people watching because they don't know what that is.
from people from the UK, right? Like me.
Yeah.
You just said another acronym there.
Well, okay, they're formerly known as CTW Investment Group. They're the United Workers Capital Group, basically is what they call themselves. And they hold a lot of corporations and leaderships allegedly accountable for irresponsible and unethical corporate behavior.
So they're against the acquisition because why? If you don't mind me asking, I'm sure you know why they're against it.
They allegedly stated that it's because of the former leadership or the current leadership that hasn't fully exited Activision.
And is there a plan for that to be rectified?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Microsoft has a plan.
It's in contract. So
yeah,
Okay.
Microsoft has a plan for the what is deemed
Removal
as the
of
yeah.
Bobby Kotick or whatever his name is.
Yes.
The golden parachute, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you know what? Do you know what? It's very strange that they can say it's going to be worse under Microsoft or whatever, because how can it be worse? It's probably known as one of the most toxic environments to work in. From what we've heard, do you know what? I've never worked there. I don't know, but from what we've heard, it's the most toxic environment you can imagine. Can you imagine that the new person's going to be worse? Would Sony be worse? Of course they wouldn't. No. Anybody who's going to take over and say, look, this is what we're going to do from now on, has to be better than what is currently in place. Yeah? Even if it's 5% better, it's better.
I mean, there's some definitely shakeups in the Warner Brother Discovery merger. A lot of people got fired.
Exactly. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Microsoft are going to come in and go, look, this is where we're going to go from now on. You out. And it's going to be a nice clean. That sometimes what you need within a disruptive business is a clean line in the sand, and I think Microsoft will be that clean line. Let's start again. Yeah. Once they take over, if after they take over and we've drawn that clean line in the sand, then there's accusations. Then they can look at it and say, look, maybe Microsoft aren't that good. It's not going to happen because the consensus of everybody within the community is Microsoft is an absolutely amazing company to work for. They were
Didn't they just get recently voted one of the best companies to work for?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, from back in the 90s for one of the most hated companies in America because of what they did, but they've got voted recently for one of the best companies in the world to work for.
Right.
I mean, who wouldn't want the current state of being right now, from being lawsuits and everything and, oh my God, this is a horrible place to work, to all of a sudden being run by one of the best companies to work for? So it doesn't make sense that they're saying, no, it's going to be worse. It does not make sense. It's unfounded, unproved, and just pretty much bullshit.
What you're calling it is it's FUD. It's fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Yeah.
Well, to to answer PK's question, because he wanted me to say this. So I found out what the acronym means. I had to go to their about page. It stands for the Strategic Organizing Center, SOC. It's a coalition of unions representing more than 4 million members to enhance long-term shareholder returns through active ownership. So what did Activision have a problem with previously? Unions. So this, to me, it feels politically motivated. Can I prove it? No, it's just my thoughts. So, Jay, I'm going to go to you. You're in Canada, so your whole idea is different of the unions in America. So, what do you think?
Okay, sorry. Can you rephrase that question so that a Canadian can understand it? Can you put that question in a question?
Yes. Okay. So, how do you feel about SOC Investment Group trying to stop the merger or the buyout of Activision Blizzard to Microsoft? Keep in mind that SOC stands for Strategic Organizing Center, which represents union funds that are invested in corporations.
How much pull do they actually have is the real question. I've been reading a little bit about this, and the rumors have that these people have a very small voice when it comes to this stuff.
When it comes to Activision Blizzard, I believe that they don't have a major say. But what they're trying to do is influence other voters on the board and other members of the board to vote no. They're trying to use their influence that way.
That all depends on how loud their voices are, right? And how much money gets handed, if you know what I mean.
Legally, they can't hand money off. Legally, they can't hand money off.
Yeah. We've all seen a lot of shady shit going on in the world in the last 40, 50 years that we've all been here on the planet. We know that corporations can influence a lot of stuff, and it all comes down to money being thrown around and blackmail, and whoever doesn't want this stuff to happen, they can try their damnedest to not let the merger go through. But
they let the AT&T Warner Brothers merger go through, and that shouldn't have happened. And look where we at.
Do you think? Now I know this is me putting on my tinfoil hat. Do you think in any way that the competitors have anything to do with this that's going on right now? The competition does not want this to happen. Therefore, they're pushing their agenda onto certain groups that can stir up the pot. What do you guys think?
Anything's possible.
It all depends on who you mean by the competition, which you're not going to say. It's fine. And
because the competition is not just the obvious either.
Yeah.
So Microsoft has a lot of competition.
It's how big that competition is and what they're trying to gain from stopping what's happening. That's the thing. It's not the obvious, okay, but it's where else it's coming from, isn't it?
Right.
But you've got a point, I think.
Yeah. Anything can happen, right? All it takes is one person speaks to another person, something gets exchanged, and then they open their mouth, and then the snowball effect happens from there.
Yeah, true.
I know no one. It would probably never come out in the open, and it would never be identified. But we all know what happens. It happens in the small communities that we all live in. So if you don't think it happens in the big, in the big organizations, in the big world, of course it does. It just happens at a bigger level.
So, PK, I know you had some thoughts on this. What do you think?
Um, so honestly, I agree. I think it's a maybe a political situation. Um, trying to get people motivated. So it's Microsoft. They're the company everyone loves to hate. I'm just being real. Everyone loves Apple, but everyone hates Microsoft, and it's a popularity thing. So they're
100%.
trying to use that. Not to say the people behind it is trying to use, but I'm just saying in general. Like I believe it is because there's no evidence that it's going to be worse, right? There's no evidence that they're the current leadership isn't going to get dealt with. So what are you afraid of? Um, I would be looking at how does Microsoft, what's their track record with dealing with toxic leadership, and if they have a good track record, then what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? So it just seems weird. I don't like speculating. Like I don't like guessing based on nothing. I don't like putting words in or breathing air into something that don't exist unless you give me some sort of evidence that I should be leading that way. So if you're afraid of this, you I don't understand why you wasn't afraid of, like I keep saying, AT&T and Warner Brothers. You got to understand that typically when there's a merger or a acquisition, it's usually horizontal, right? It means that you're buying a company that is doing the same thing or will enhance what you're doing. It's a horizontal acquisition, never a vertical one. AT&T is a content provider, not a content creator. So whenever you had them trying to buy W or Warner Brothers, that that just don't happen. And on top of that, every time AT&T does not have a good track record of doing anything right because all they did was acquire another smaller company to do the work for them, right? They didn't have cell phones until they acquired what Singular, right?
Yeah, but I
And
think in this situation though, it's that SOC in their SEC filings actually said that they were worried about the current leadership being
right, but
responsible.
that's kind of what I'm saying. I'm using an example. So um, they don't have that same energy for a company that has a bad track record like AT&T, who did not deal with the toxic leadership after acquiring those companies. That's what I'm getting at. Plus, they're reckless with their what they're trying to do. It's not even buying cash, right? All the companies that they acquired wasn't even cash. They had a monopoly until, for as the telco companies, until the companies fall back in the southern states, right? The
Yeah.
thing is, they don't have a good Comcast don't have a good track record. Think about it. When I worked for Time Warner and it was trying to acquire Time Warner, they're the largest cable provider in the United States, and Time Warner's number two. They are three times the size of Time Warner. So think about that. And Time Warner is bigger than the bottom eight cable providers. So if the top two are owned by the same company, that's pretty much everything. There is no competition at that point. But they have lots of cases where they have done their customers wrong, throttle their internet when they're watching Netflix, et cetera, et cetera. And all I'm saying is when they don't have the same energy when it comes to companies that have a bad reputation. So it seems odd that you come out and want to be so boisterous against this with no evidence, none.
Yeah, I think the difference though is they're on the board of this, right? They have shares and they have a say, whereas they might not have had any say in AT&T. The other thing, we don't know if they had a say in that, but we
How
know they
many
have
shares and how much say is the question.
yeah. That's something that I do not know.
And if you're on the board, why didn't you get rid of him in the first place?
I mean, that's another thing,
I
right?
mean, you can fire the CEO. Let's be real. Don't if you ain't had enough power to get rid of him then, why are you worried about it now? You didn't come out and speak on the crap when it was happening. You didn't have this boisterous energy when they were going through all that drama, right? So why listen to you now? You get what I'm saying? I just think sometimes you don't listen to what people say. You pay attention to their intention. You know what I mean? A lot of it is verbal sleight of hand, right?
Hmm.
It's a distraction from what is going on. So y- the real question is what they're not telling you. You know
Well,
what I mean?
it
Yeah.
claims that last November they called for the resignation of Bobby
How
Kotick,
long has been
and
going on? Yo,
yeah, I
I
mean, you're
yo,
right.
this
No, you're right. Yeah, I can't argue with you.
you can't just have that energy when you're in the fire. You can't just, you know what, I got arrested and go to court and apologize and hope you get off.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You can't
Yeah.
do that because, well, I guess you could, but typically normal people don't get off. So the court of opinion, which is the public, you can't fraud the court of opinion. They will defraud you. So all I'm saying is it is very peculiar to have all this energy now when they didn't have it before.
Yeah, I mean, we just know. All we know
It's
is
not
that they
like they didn't know.
sent a
It's
letter.
not like they didn't know. They're not ignorant to what's going on in their company. They literally fired 40% of their staff, but had record profit numbers 4 years ago. Come on, man. They literally had every single uh, uh, developer up under their house stop making games that they were good at making just to work on Call of Duty. My guy, let's be real. Who was happy? We talking about Toys for Bob, High Moon Studios. Come on, man. Toys for Bob. What happened to Spiral? It was gone because everybody's working on Call of Duty. What I'm saying is they knew it was a toxic environment. So they already knew what was going on. It was like we're trying to get in front of it to make ourselves look like something. Let's be real. Come on.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear you. You have right to your opinion. I don't know the story behind them, so I can't tell you. I just know that this came up now, and maybe this is the only time they can actually say something when it goes for a vote and they're a shareholder. Maybe they don't have a vote on things previously unless it's brought up in a SEC
If they
filing.
had a vote, it wouldn't have been bought back with cash. The thing is, if Bobby was a loose cannon, they should have fired him. Period.
Well, it takes more than one shareholder to make a
True
decision.
that. If they on the board, that's what you got to do. You got to get buy-in, right? You got to talk about it. That's their
The,
business. That's
the
anybody's
the
business.
the thing is, it's not new news. Okay, the new news of what's gone on in the studio is new news, but I remember a long time ago that people were saying Bobby Kotick, well, he's horrible. That's all I knew back in the day. Oh, Bobby Kotick is horrible. Yeah, that's one of those things. All the accusations now are new, but the fact that the person that was running it was not the best person to be running anything isn't a new idea. That was going back. That's going back years and years and years ago. When who left from? Was it Frank Zampella? He left. Did he leave
Respawn?
Activision? He went to Respawn, didn't he? But he left
Yeah.
Activision to go there. And back in the day, it was a case of Bobby Kotick is a horrible, horrible person to work for. Although we didn't know the details, that was a stated fact back then. They could have done something if these people are involved in whatever. Way back when Frank Zampella and the other guy who run Activision There's two of them. They went and they left and did Respawn. That whole court case of you left us to do this, and that came out in public knowledge that Bobby Kotick was not this person to be in charge of studios whatsoever. And that's before we heard about all this nonsense. I know it's not nonsense, of course. It's terrible, but
It's
I don't
drama.
want to. It really is. I don't want to label it as something, but when they left to go and do Respawn, this was a thing. And none of these people are saying, "Oh, he needs to leave right now." But now they're
Right.
saying, "Oh, it's going to be worse with Microsoft."
Only when
What?
it
Really?
only when the covers was pulled off. Now we want to say,
Yep.
oh, you know, it's
Yep.
bad. Wait a minute.
Well, we'll find out more in the coming days what the true motive is, and I still think the deal's going to go through because it's too beneficial for everybody, and it's great for the employees.
And
But,
it makes good news when people try to stop it too, right?
Yeah, it's another just a news article, right? It gives them something to talk about in the press. Yeah, see, Lemon says they can't stop it. They try to stop the Bethesda Blizzard deal. I don't know if you know exactly what we're talking about, Lemon, but we're talking about the SOC Investment Group, Strategic Organizing Center, which is a union-funded capitalist workers group that invests in companies to try to control different companies and boards. But it's just an interesting thing that came up. But I know it's getting late for Animated Evil. I know it's really late over there on the other across the pond. Hold on. Let me do across the pond, mate. Like that. Yeah, I said it.
You know what? The weird thing is, though, dude, I've agreed to work tomorrow, which is Good Friday. Supposed to be off, so I have to get up for work in 4 hours.
Whoa!
It's okay. We're all good. It's fine. I'm after tomorrow. I'm off work for 11 days. So
Wow.
yeah.
In the UK, we call that what, a holiday? You're on the holiday.
It's holiday. I'm on holiday. Yeah, I'm on holiday for 11 days. Yes.
So real quick, Adam, before we close the show, I have a question for you. Does Oscar Isaac do a great British voice on Moonlight?
Never seen it. Don't know who he is. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Oh wow! Because I was curious of the same thing because he does do like a really high pitched British voice too. It's not just regular.
I will have to check it out and get back in. I'll get back to you guys. I mean, I think I do a really good British accent, but you know what? It's native to me.
It's a little iffy at times. It's a little iffy at times.
What do you mean it's iffy? No, it's native. All right.
I've heard you say a boot a few times.
Bloody right.
That's because I talk to you too much. A boot.
Animated Evil. Where can people find you, mate?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter and Xbox at Animated Evil 857. Not Twitter, Twitch and Xbox Animated 857. I've been off Twitch for a while because of security problems, which has been resolved today. So I've been able to log back into Twitch. The last 2 or 3 days I've been back on, thankfully. Yeah. And yeah, other than Twitch and Xbox, you can find me on Twitter and YouTube, animated_evil. And look out for definitely look out for me on YouTube because I'm doing the Wonderful World of Game Pass where I'm trying to play all the games A to Z in Game Pass, right? And A to Z. I'm still on A. Okay. However, I am going to suggest the guy behind me, right there. There's a game on Game Pass called Origami 2.
Yes, I played Origami 1.
It's absolutely bloody brilliant. Yeah,
I think I stopped on stage 12 or something.
It suckered me in this week. It really has. So we're on episode 4. I'm still on the letter A, but yeah, check me out on YouTube.
You do know you've got. Are you just playing console or are you playing PC as well?
No, just console. So
fine.
whatever's in console. I'm not doing game preview games because that's unfair.
Right.
But I'm doing 2 hours of each game, and then giving my sort of should you play it, should you try it, should you not kind of aspect.
Awesome.
The thing is, 6 hours worth of gameplay. I'm recording all of it, editing, and then commenting over it takes a while. So it's not quick. It's not a quick process.
As a video editor, I get it.
But yeah, find me there.
Nice. And Graphic God, aka Jay, where can people find you, man?
If you're looking for me on Twitter, I'm graphic_god. I have a show on Tuesdays called The Retro Renegades at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We drink beer. We play old games. We, slap each other in the face. That's what we do. And we have a lot of fun. And quite often, Clowns shows up. He's basically an honorary member, but we haven't told him yet.
Oh,
so
nice.
We do that. Yeah, we do that on Tuesdays. And we appreciate anyone who comes by and watches. I also have a website called xboxgamerpicks.com where you can go and order yourself a gamer pick. If you don't know what those are, hit me up on Twitter. I'll show you.
Nice. PK?
Yes.
PK? Do you know what time it is?
Oh, it's time. Yo, everyone, thanks for coming through. Thanks for watching us and joining us in our conversation. What's real about us is we don't always agree, but we have good conversations, and that's what's important. We're not yes men around here. We're all about individuality. So appreciate you guys hanging out and allowing us to express ourselves. Um, Definitely you can find me here on 4GQ TV. Dragon's Dens on Saturday. Find me on Twitter at PKX Live. Definitely get some gaming in. I play pretty much everything. I do have PlayStation, but I don't play any multiplayer games on there. But I play on everything else multiplayer.
Awesome. Well, everybody can find me here on 4GQ TV. We do Marvel stuff, a whole bunch of different movie stuff, game stuff, interviews. We have 2 big interviews coming up as well, so look forward to that. And until next time, or until Tuesday night, see you guys later.
Later.